Hey everybody, thanks for stopping in. What we're going to talk about in this video today is the Wild Food Survival Challenge. And all this is where everybody can go out within a mile or walking distance of your home, close by, and find 3 wild plants that you could eat. And hopefully you would like to eat, but the main thing is finding edible plants that you could eat in a crisis situation, or in any situation if you just wanted to eat some wild stuff. It doesn't have to be a zombie apocalypse for something like this to happen where you want to eat wild plants. It could be something serious that happens. A storm could happen where there's a food crisis and the trucks aren't shipping to these grocery stores for a week or something and the shelves are empty. It could be something simple, or like it could be an EMP strike that could shut everything down. That could be caused by a terrorist or a solar flare or something. Or it could just be that you want to eat some wild plants and save a few bucks every week eating wild plants. And so you find something in your neighborhood you like that's close by that you can eat. So this is what we're going to do. We're in Central Texas right here, so I'm going to go walk around in my area, which is a wilderness type area where I live. But every neighborhood will have some kind of plants. The plants that I verified, I looked on this website called foragingtexas.com. I encourage you to use that as a tool to look around. If you're not in Texas, of course, you have to look somewhere else and try to find something else that would be a good guide. But around Central Texas, the guy's in Houston, so it's got a lot of plants on there that are really familiar to this area. So let me cut to that video, and just let me warn you real quick before I go to the video. Whenever you're out looking around for wild plants to eat, plants have defense mechanisms. So be very cautious about what you identify and make sure you're really sure this is the plant you're looking at, because some plants will make you sick, some will kill you, and some are really healthy for you. So either go identify them off. There's plenty of places on the internet to look, or you might know stuff from being a kid. You just might have known things like, obviously, a pecan tree that's an easy one. So, and they're everywhere in Central Texas. But I'm going to show you mine. I'll show you what I found around Central Texas where I'm at, and near Marlin and Cossie area. It may be a little different if you're out in some other part of, like if you're in Hillsboro or if you're in Meridian or something. But Central Texas does have a lot of similar plants, and that's what this is about. It's about getting you out there and having you look and see what you can find that you might want to eat. And I'll talk to you in just a minute after I show you this video. Alright, right here we have one of the most annoying trees ever, but a lot of people don't know you can eat it. This is called the honey locust tree, and you can have a look there and see those thorns on it. Look at the size of those babies. But right here you can look, these seed pods right here, they are edible. These seed pods are totally edible. Everybody says they're sweet, but I haven't actually eaten them. But you can't climb these trees, I know that. But you can at least get those seed pods. That's just something else that's hanging out here from a nuisance tree that'll puncture your tire if you try to drive anywhere near here. Right here, we've got the biggest no-brainer in Central Texas, because everybody has pecan trees. But here's something that in the fall, these pecans provide food. Lots of pecans, depending on how many you got and how much you can get. My suggestion for anybody would be, you're not going to be able to get them right now in the middle of summer, but the pecans are going to be falling this fall. So gather up some pecans and save them for yourself if you don't have any money. If you do have money, obviously you could sell them and buy something else or trade them or something like that. But this is just wild free food that grows out here. Here's the leaves. Here's some baby pecans on it that are they're going to be ripe in, I guess, a few months. But that's just an example. All right, let's go to the next plant. All right, right here we have a hackberry tree. If you don't know anything about these they kind of have this rough looking bark on them. But let me go out here to a low-hanging limb and show you what they've got on them. That this is what makes them useful. And actually, these are another nuisance type tree. A lot of people get mad at them. My mom actually complains because they drop these berries here right by her pool, and then you step on them while you're out by the pool, and they're kind of hard. But you can eat these berries, and one thing you have to spit out the seeds, but the other thing you can do is get a blender and chop them up and mix them with water, and you have kind of a mix, kind of a drink. And a lot of people do that. It's called hackberry milk. Here's some right here. They produce a lot. So in the fall, of course, we're going to be able to get a lot of these. This is another thing that might be just a good thing just to grab and save up for, whenever you have winter coming up, and then just try them out and see if you like them. All right here we got a type of amaranth, and this stuff's real edible. It's all these seeds on here you can eat. The younger leaves, actually I think you can eat all the leaves, but the younger leaves are supposed to be the best. Actually, there's a couple of plants here. Here's one right here. All these seeds on here, they're actually little flowers, but they have a seed on them. So all these are edible. Alright, I found some wild onions here. That's what these are right here. These are wild onions. All these right here. Can't get the camera on my hand here. Okay, yeah, these are wild onions. So the only thing I can tell you about those is that they're great for seasoning stuff. You can always eat them. And there's something called crow's poison that looks like them. That's won't kill you, but it'll make you real sick. So the difference with those is all you have to do is with these wild onions, if you crush them in your fingers, they'll have a smell like an onion. If they don't have that onion smell in them when you crush them in your fingers, then it's not an onion. But yeah, that's a strong smelling onion there. Alright, now out here we have a whole field full of sunflowers, and those weren't planted, they just grow wild. Just to be clear, these right here are different. Those out there are the sunflowers. They're the big yellow flowers with the brown in the middle. These are not. These are not those. But those out there, that's a lot of sunflowers. And these grow wild all over Central Texas, so that's a really good food source. Here's a close-up of the sunflowers. You can eat the seeds out of these. And there's plenty of them. That's the great thing about these. They're not going to taste like the ones you eat at the store, though, because they're not salted and roasted and all that. So, but they are a good source to eat, especially in the summer when not everything is ripe. Alright, we're in a mesquite forest now. It's still in the same area, but just kind of an area of a lot of mesquite trees. These are older mesquite trees right here. And the beans off of these are edible. I don't know if you can see these leaves here very good, but those beans are going to grow, and you can eat those, but the seeds get kind of hard on them whenever they're ready to eat. So that's just something else that you have to look out for, but it's a good wild source of food. Okay, here we've got some prickly pear cactus, and these are edible. You just got to burn the stickers off of them. And there's also some fruit that grow on these early to midsummer. You can harvest that fruit as well. You just got to have some barbecue tongs to pull them off, because they have stickers on them as well. And the fruit can be used for, you can juice it or you can peel it and eat it. Alright, what we're looking at here is called devil's claw. And these things right here on it are edible. These little, whatever you want to call them, the little beans or whatever. But that's just something else to consider.
It's just a wild plant. A lot of people don't like them because they spread out real quick, but these things are edible. You have to cook them though. Here's another devil's claw plant, and it's a younger one. You can see right here by my thumb, this has got a smaller little fruit or whatever you want to call it growing on it. This is the one I just picked off another one. And what happens is, the reason it's called devil's claw, this is a last year's, one of those things from last year. And what happens is they dry out and open up like that, and these little hooks, when you're walking through the field or wherever, will grab a hold of your pant leg, and you just hang on to it. They'll hang on to you and drag you around, and then wherever you let go of that thing at, then it's got a seed pod spread to that area. So these spread out pretty fast, but it's just another wild Central Texas plant.
Alright, well, I hope that was a pleasant video for you, and I hope you are able to go out and find as many plants as I did. At least need to find 3. But just in closing here, just keep in mind the importance of this. If there's ever a food crisis of some sort, the first thing that's going to happen, everybody, a lot of people are going to go out and probably kill an animal like a deer or something. And that's only going to be a short-term gain for people. If a food shortage was to go long-term, the people who would survive it would be the ones who prepared themselves and knew what plants they could eat, because the animals will become more and more scarce. So prepare yourself and get yourself ready for if something like this was to happen. But or don't worry about it. But the cool thing is after this, you're gonna have those 3 plants that you went out and found. You're gonna have that in your head. So even if you're laughing at me, 10 years from now something might happen, and you might be like, man, I'm glad I went out on that little journey and found those 3 plants. Now I know what I can eat. I won't starve to death. So with that said, good luck and happy plant hunting. Have a good day.